spouses are out today. As you can see, it's a family affair. We are here with our spouses to say thank you to our Baba, that is President Muhammad Buhari, and thank you to our Mama, Dr. Aisha Buhari. We are telling them thank you for so many reasons. Baba promised us through 3 good things before coming on board. He promised us economic and infrastructural development. He promised us security, and he also promised to fight against corruption. Baba has fulfilled all his promises. So we are here to say thank you to our Baba for fulfilling his promises. And we are also begging him to continue to take us to the next level as he promised.
We recognize ourselves as very pivotal pillars for the peace, happiness and progress in every family or home. So we are concerned about who is favored by our votes to lead us in 2019. The office of the President of Nigeria is very important in defining the tone of leadership and enhancing good governance down the lower rungs of leadership. So we cannot afford to be passive onlookers in deciding who occupies the apex leadership office in the land. We cannot. Therefore, we deem it both a moral and lawful duty to actively engage in the forthcoming electoral process and the general elections. We want to act in words and actions to decide who earns our votes to be elected our overall king, not just our president, but our leaders at all lower levels too. Our voice and our votes must count. These are the compelling considerations which have motivated the assemblage of 5,000 families for Buhari come 2019 election across Nigeria, not just Abuja alone, for this solidarity march to create awareness and campaign advocacy to encourage support for the re-election of incumbent President Muhammad Buhari in the February 2019 presidential vote. Therefore, it is to appeal and drum support for the re-election of our credible, competent, God-fearing and straightforward leader, President Buhari. Some Nigerians would like to know why we have focused so much on President Buhari. I have earlier explained the reason on the periphery in this speech, but it is pertinent to dish out more floating details on why Buhari is the most preferred presidential candidate to be supported and re-elected come 2019. We have seen the resurgence of perpetual presidential contest freaks who have invaded the democratic space, seeking a mandate to become Nigeria's president this year. We have examined their past leadership mandate and records, but cannot find any trace of patriotic and posturing on the progress and development of Nigeria. Their performance records are replete with oddities and setbacks that have crumbled Nigeria for decades, especially this democratic dispensation. We are proud of you, Mr. President. President Buhari's social investment program, of course, the Empower, are substantially targeted women and the family. We can attest that the National School Feeding Program has given many families respite, because sometimes the children are kept at home because of no food, but now they can go to school and eat, and therefore most children who were out of school before are now in schools. So we thank Mr. President for that. The scheme has disbursed over 264,269 loans to 4,822 societies. It doesn't matter who you are, what religion you are, or where you come from across Nigeria. And majority of the beneficiaries are us women. This is in addition to the microcredit loans to millions of Nigerian artisans, traders, and market men and women, just like the conditional cash transfers to the poorest and mostly vulnerable households in the country. Let Nigerians know that Nigerian families welcome the Buhari administration's initiative for Family Home Fund of the social housing program. It is not just about feeding our children in school, about Empower, about trader money. It is also giving us a housing scheme, all right? It is designed to provide affordable mortgages for low-income individuals and families to own a home of their own. These are all aimed at stabilizing the Nigerian family. If the Nigerian family is not stable, the nation cannot be stable. Yes. Finally, we are compelled to say President Buhari's good leadership of Nigeria has reordered the distribution of the Nigeria's treasures and commonwealth. It is no longer concentrated in the hands of a very few that are not up to 2,000-3,000 of a country that is over 180 million. That is no longer acceptable. Yes. The effect of our wealth is being felt even in the most negligible of families in the country. Yes. We have no reason to look back or slack in order to allow the vultures, the vampires, the barracudas of this nation to come again and enslave us. It is no longer acceptable. Yes. It is no longer acceptable. Let us troop out en masse to return Buhari in Aso Villa through the ballot, not just for our sake, but for our children's